so excited today. My name is Melissa Alava, group practice owner and therapist slash coach. Come on. And I am joined by Trinity Ash. Oh, I'm seeing that last name now. And Trinity is amazing therapist that's on our team. She is one of the folks that leads supervision, team lead, and she is an amazing therapist that works with adolescents and young adults. And today we are talking about medication and being medicated free during the summertime and what that looks like for a lot of our folks who, use medication to help them function.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm really excited to talk about this today because it is the summertime. It's my favorite time of year. And that's a time that a lot of my clients who are adolescents or even sometimes adults as well like to take a little break from their medication, specifically clients who are navigating ADHD and are on medication for that. Because there's a lack of structure in terms of, school and work, we're on vacations, people are like, okay, I want to take a break from this. So just want to share with you guys a few little tips, things to consider to kind of help navigate some of that change. So the first thing is to make sure that anytime you make any sort of medication change for yourself, please consult your psychiatrist or your child's pediatrician before making any of those changes.
That's so important.
Yes, that is really important because you never know. Certain medications stop working immediately. Certain other medications, it takes a while to leave your system. And if you're on any other medications outside of the ADHD medications, you don't know how the two interact. So it's really, really important to always consult your psychiatrist or your child's pediatrician before taking them off of medication for the summer, making any changes. So that's number one, is to make sure that you do that. The second thing is, if you get that go ahead and you decide we're going to take a break from meds for the summer, something that's really important to do is to continue to maintain a level of structure over the summertime. Now, I know over the summer, we're all trying to relax. We're trying to be on the beach. We're trying to chill. Things just get a lot more lax. But for our clients with ADHD, if they're not on that medication to help kind of regulate and level out some of those levels in their brain, it's really, really important that their external space remain structured. So there's very clear expectations. They know what to do. There's an agenda for the day, and have something to follow.
I love that. I love that. So important. So I'm just going to piggyback on a couple of things that you said.
Sure.
I think that's so important. One being, so if your child is on a Ritalin, and I don't know how many folks are doing Ritalin right now, but also like a Wellbutrin, and you'll see that, and you could be a young adult, and we have adults, it's the same, right? So one is to stimulate you, help you to organize, right? And to follow through on what it is that you want to be able to do. But the other one is an antidepressant. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times when folks think about, taking a medication break, taking away that antidepressant could, again, have another rebound effect. So that's why it's so important to talk to your doctor, your psychiatrist, and see how those are going to interplay with one another before you just decide to take a summer break on your medication.
Yes.
Then, like you were talking about the schedule, I think, like me personally, knowing, having a child, a young adult who has had medication treatment for ADHD, that schedule is so important.
Yes.
Because things can just fall apart.
They can. Yeah, absolutely. And school provides a level of structure, right? Because they're there, 7 hours a day. There's that routine of when they get home, that homework, it kind of provides that a bit. But when we don't have school, it takes away some of that structure. And it also helps, I think, with the parent-child relationship as well, because when we don't have that structure, there isn't a set of clear expectations as to what the child needs to be doing each day over the summer, right? So continuing chores and, when they're hanging out with their friends, or when they can hang out with their friends, or when they can have screen time. And when we don't have that level of clear expectation, that just creates conflict, right? Where the kid is like, I'm just living my best life, on this day. And the parents like, hey, your room's not clean, your bathroom's not clean, you haven't showered, what's going on? And
Yep.
so that
Please go brush your teeth.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So that can create a lot of different, just unneeded conflict, right? Versus let's have a structure, let's have clear expectations. So we both know what's going on. We both know what the day's supposed to look like. So having that structure, I think, is really important. And a way to kind of create that structure over the summer too is having kids go to summer camp, which is really cool. Because that can create a level of structure as well, whether it's a full day or a half day. They're at camp, they're engaged in activities, they're running all day. So they come home pretty tired, right? And so you can kind of create that different set of routine over the summer for summer camp. And also what it does is if you have a child who's like, I don't know what to do, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to play a sport, I don't want to play an instrument, and maybe you don't want to commit to a full season of football or a full season of basketball when your kid doesn't seem like they're interested. Summer camp is great because they last for maybe a week, they last for maybe a month, and you can get your child exposed to a lot of different new things during the summertime without having to commit to that full season football fee.
I love that.
And your child can really kind of get to know different things that they like, expose them to different things in a fun type setting. So doing that for the summer is, I think, a really great idea. And my last little tip that I have for you in terms of being medication free and some options for the summer is to incorporate a family mindfulness time. And by that, I mean having a moment where we all share what we're grateful for, having gratitude journals, taking a daily walk. Being in nature is really great for our clients that we work with ADHD, and calming the mind, calming the body, helping them be mindful, helping them be aware of their surroundings, as well as even 5 minutes of reflection over the day. Everyone talking about their highs and lows for the day, their roses and their thorns. So just incorporating some sort of level of mindfulness, either individually for the child or young adult, or even with the family, which I think can be great to do together as something to really kind of ground everybody, get everyone on the same page. So first thing, consult your psychiatrist before making changes. Second thing, create some structure. Third thing, use summer camps to expose your child to new things. And fourth thing is to incorporate some mindfulness in your day as a way to kind of help.
I love this. This is so good. So
yeah,
I want to highlight something you said, your roses and your thorns.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, so roses and thorns is a great way. It's a more fun way to kind of think of our highs and lows for the day. So the roses are the things that are growing, that are blooming, that are beautiful, that happened in our day that we can celebrate together. And the thorns are the things that are kind of difficult, that kind of stuck us in the side, that might have been a challenge for the day. And I really love that because it opens up communication between a child and a parent, between two romantic partners, between two friends, anybody that you're living with, right? It kind of opens up that conversation of what is going on with the other person. And I've had a lot of families that I've worked with where the parent is frustrated with the kid because the kid doesn't know what the parent's going through, right? And the parent's like, I had this really hard day, I'm working really hard, and I just needed my kid to be on point at them to follow directions, and they just went crazy and it was a crazy night, right? And so what this does, it allows us to kind of set the temperature of the house. So everybody kind of knows what's going on with everyone. It teaches your child empathy, compassion, understanding, the ability to relate to one another. So I know that some parents are like, I don't want to share with my kid things that are going on. Of course, we want to share things that are age appropriate for the kid to know, but it's okay for a parent to say, hey, you know what? I had a really hard day today. My boss was getting on my nerves today, and this is how I handled it. And it sets such a great example for your child that things are not going to be perfect, but this is how we handle adversity and handle conflict. So I really love doing things like roses and thorns And it can be a quick 5-minute thing. It doesn't have to be a super long, prolonged thing. It's not another thing to add to the to-do list. It can happen in the car on the way home from summer camp, right? That's how everybody's day was going. But it really opens up that line of conversation and kind of helps everyone understand each other and be mindful and think inward too about what's going on with themselves.
Oh my God, I absolutely love that. And as you were talking about mindfulness, one of the things that I decided to do this summer with my 12-year-old is at the end of the day is we would read together. So before she goes to bed, she comes to my bed, and for like 20 minutes, she reads her summer books and I read mine. And we do that pairing because, again, we know that a lot of times kids with ADHD, they can have the summer book list, they can have the extra homework or math problems that we want them to do throughout the summer. But if they're not doing it in tandem with someone else, it usually is not going to get done.
Absolutely.
So if you could pair in any kind of way, I think it's really good. And so like you just mentioned in mindfulness, I thought about that.
Yeah.
I felt like that was like a mindful way in which I was looking to integrate that, as well as like our 10,000 steps. So sometimes like even challenging the kids, I've been getting my steps in, because like if they hear something that's going to challenge them, it's something that's fun about it. And it makes it exciting. And then my last tip, because as you can see, I'm adding tips. My last tip for Scott, because I have a college student too, is, parents, you already know you're not able to control your college student, especially if they wind up staying at college. So getting them an accountability partner to ensure that they're looking at summer internships, looking at some career stuff, getting them, making sure that they actually stay in therapy throughout the summer, so that they can have accountability to complete some of the things that they're supposed to, is so important. Because again, without that structure of classes, a lot of times they fall off in the abyss of having too much time.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've seen that.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, hey, have we registered for classes? School
exactly.
Right?
No.
That is so important. That's such a great point, that to have accountability. And the things that I share with my clients with ADHD, whether that be children or adults, that it is okay to do things differently, right? That we get stuck in that idea that like, well, all my friends are able to do this and they're able to sit down and study for 3 hours. They're able to do that. I should be able to do that, right? And if we get stuck there, we stay stuck there and nothing gets done. And so really trying to help them understand like, hey, it's okay to do things differently. If you need that accountability partner, get that accountability partner, because when you get your degree, nobody's going to be asking questions.
No, they're not.
Not a single question. They're not going to say, how did you do this? Did you do all this by yourself? No, nobody's going to ask you a single question. So doing the things that work best for you, setting yourself up for success is the key. And so I hope that some of these tips that we shared today are able to be used to kind of set some people up for success as well. So I think those are great points. Thanks for adding those, Melissa.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thanks so much for being here. As always, if you want to work with Trinity, reach out to us at VisionWorks Counseling and Coaching. We are here and we want to support you throughout the summer. Thanks again, Trinity. And I look forward to seeing you all on the other side.
Great. Bye, everybody.